Hey, everybody. Good morning. Welcome to the show. Thanks for coming on Christmas Eve, everybody. I know some people don't have anything better to do, like myself, right? Welcome, everybody. Glad to have you. Looks like we got channel members Ivan, Don, Dan, Diane. That's a lot of D's again. Ed, John, Swinburne, all the way from Iceland. Good to have you. Kathy, Darren, all the way out. And Kimberly's here. Hey, Kimberly. It is also my oldest son's birthday today. That's the middle child. Happy birthday to him here on Christmas Eve. So, welcome, everybody. Glad to have you. Glad to have you. Thanks for spending the morning with me. Remember, it is a half day in the markets today. Probably going to have extremely low volume and just lackluster price action. Uh, it's just a classic Christmas time, holiday time. Like when we get holidays midweek, we just typically have just a blasé reaction in the market. Yeah. And as Kimberly says, happy birthday to Jacob. He turns 21 today. And, I'm sure he has a big night of drinking planned. I'm just kidding. He probably is like not even gonna try alcohol. And welcome everybody. Welcome. Yeah, Kimberly thought that was funny. Anyway, all right, and for all of you just channel subscribers like Leah, Larry, Arturo, Merle, Craig, Jay, Felix, don't recognize your name, but welcome to the stream this morning. Gregory, Robert, welcome everybody. And if you want to chat with all these awesome folks while I'm live, click the button down over here in the corner. Click that be a subscriber on the channel. That's what you do. And then you can chat. If I'm no longer live after, 45 minutes to an hour or so, probably won't be live anymore. And you can leave a comment down below. And while you're at it, check out the description for any other fun stuff you might find. Go visit the channel homepage if you need more information on like my market roadmap line, all for free. I give you like the system and how it works, and it's all right there. I try to give as much as I can for free. The financial advisor I've been talking to the last few days, he was like, dude, you watch these other financial gurus and they're like, oh, I'll tell you all about blah, blah, blah and show you how to make money, but you got to buy XYZ. I don't do that. He's like, you're so different. And it's kind of funny. And I'm just here to try to help people make a little scratch, maybe make better decisions in the market. Hopefully you agree. Give me that thumbs up if you do, or interact in the video here. I do appreciate it. Rangamer, hey, Merry Christmas, my man. And remember, along the way, anything I say and do, it's helpful, beneficial, knowledgeable, whatever, give me a thumbs up. I do appreciate it. And without further ado, the list is very short today. Not a lot moving. In fact, there was only one. I had to make a special concession to even get one decliner on the list this morning. So, little Christmas cheer. Going around in the market, pre-market. Not a lot happening. Not a lot cracking. But we can get into it. And as always, all trading involves a substantial risk of loss. Past performance not necessarily indicative of future results. Imagine that. I predict it. It may or may not come true. Sometimes I get lucky. Sometimes. And the big bold predictions. And speaking of which, we'll talk about that. I'll hold on. I'll circle back in a second. This presentation is intended to be informational, educational, fun, entertaining, not a recommendation to be buying or selling any financial instruments. So that's no stocks, no options, no bonds, no forex, no futures, no cryptos, no treasuries. Don't long them, don't short them, don't trade them. All right. If you can't handle losses, don't trade them. I mean, let's be real. Like any trade, you could take a loss. All right. That's why the first sentence is all trading involves a substantial risk of loss, no matter what you're trading. And if you desire personal financial advice, well, hire and consult a financial advisor. That's what they do. And I've got a guy that he became a channel member yesterday who he's like, seriously, man, anybody that wants to talk to a financial advisor, just throw them my way. So there you go. There you go. And yeah, the thumbs up at the bottom too, chatting in the chat. Merry Christmas, everybody. Thanks for coming on Christmas Eve. I will not be doing 30 minutes of awesome tonight. I will not be live tomorrow, but I will be back with you Thursday. So I'll be back on Thursday. Still debating on 30 minutes of awesome. Haven't gotten a lot of feedback on that. Charlie, Merry Christmas to you too. I was gonna say something, but pull it down. Goose is very thankful for meeting you this year. I'll just put it that way. All right. Have fun at breakfast, y'all. Hopefully Jacob enjoys breakfast at Aretha Frankenstein's. And I know he loves the pancakes or the whatever it is that they have. All right. So today is Tuesday, Christmas Eve. And looking at the calendar, there's not a lot happening here today. It's like part of the world's already on holiday. Market's on a half day. Tomorrow's Christmas. Pretty much the world is shut down tomorrow. Almost nothing open, like worldwide, right there. Thursday, still a lot of the world on holiday. The U.S. market will be open again. I'll be back live with you on Thursday. Same bad time, same bad channel. 9:15. Mark your calendar. Mark your, set your alert in your phone. Come back and visit me every day. We hang out and do this every day, digging through, looking for opportunities in the markets. Don't really expect a ton of stuff happening. We do get normal weekly unemployment claims right there. We're kind of forecasting 223,000. 223,000 poor souls lost their claiming unemployment for the first time in front of Christmas. Just crazy. Anyway, and then Friday, another benign day, but it's like we get a Monday half day, weird Tuesday thing. We get a holiday, then we get another Monday on a Thursday, and then we get a Friday on a Friday. I mean, it's like today's a Friday with the early close almost. It's like, yeah, there's just not going to be a lot of volume going on. And there you go. Next week, kind of more of the same. In case you have never traded through Christmas and New Year's, it's kind of the way this works. Like, we will have open days, both days here on the 30th and 31st, regular market days. New Year's Eve is a regular market day. But low volume still is probably going to be the way it goes. Bond market does close early, but everything else, normal day. The first is closed, just like Christmas. So back to back, week to week, middle of the week closes, and then we'll be open Thursday and Friday. So that's kind of what we got cooking this week. All right. And next week. So a lot of traders probably not even going to be there's probably not going to be volume flow back into the market until the following week, which is starting on the 6th right there of January. Holy moly. Staring down 2025 already. It's just crazy. Just crazy, right? Thank you all for being here. And I grew 14x on YouTube this past year, and I couldn't do it without all of you. All of you. That's just crazy to me. Like almost 14x, 1400% growth. That's pretty good. Share it with more people. Like, we got to keep this baby going. Got to keep it going. Anyway. All right. That all said, what was the thing I was going to talk about, right? Circling back over here. Sometimes I predict things and they come true. All right. Anybody remember this conversation over here? If you're new here or you're, haven't been here for 2 years, back over here, we talked about this chart. If you've never seen this chart before, this is Delta Golf CR2, DGS2 on TradingView. It's a 2-year constant maturity rate. They had an auction yesterday. Treasury auction. All right. If you didn't know, 2-year treasuries had an auction yesterday. They came in at 4.335%. 4.335%. That's what the treasury market came in at. That's a pop from where we are right here. It's coming on up just a tad, just a notch. Just barely. 4.335%. The Fed cut the rates to their target rate between 4.25 and 4.5, which do the average, that's 4.333%. If they get down to the target. Technically, these two just met yesterday. Technically, they just met. And the DGS2 crossed by 0.002% for the Fed's mid target, the middle of the Fed's target right there. That's pretty wild, right? So, might be another thing that I predict that comes true. Let's change the color on that line so we know what it is. Know it's something different. So this is what we'd be watching. If we break above this line right here, downtrend of highs on this DGS2, something to watch out for. Coming up right there. That's what we're going to watch. We break out there. Probably going higher. Yeah, Don, yeah, Rutro, yeah, Don. That's something like this is predicted this way back over here. It's funny enough, it's happening right over here. It's happening, sweetheart. So be careful in the next few months. Like, we could create some catastrophe, you know. The market may pull back a little bit, like we did when we came up off the lows, right? Think about this. If we start picking up interest rates again, the market didn't like that so much in here, right? Then we got up in here, we kind of bottomed, and then we went higher again. Then we took all that correction back plus a lot more. So what if this thing stretches out a little bit? We get an immediate pullback as we go higher, and then we kind of churn the top a little bit. I'm not sure how long we can maintain that before we get a bigger down, though. Could get a nice dip if we start rallying and then rally back to new highs. It's a little bit different scenario. Just trying to put it all together, like how the market might react, how it fits with what I'm seeing in the price charts. But this is one of those things. My copywriter was like, no, it's Goose. Actually, Goose was like, don't be right on this one. I think this is one I don't want you to be right on. Anyway, so I predicted this. These lines have been on here for 2 years, these blue and orange lines. That downtrend on the red line just drew that. Let's actually make that a little lighter. So let's make it a little darker too. A little darker, a little lighter. That downtrend in there, so we don't get confused on what it is. It's a downtrend of highs. If we break out over that, interest rates are probably going higher. The Fed's probably going to raise rates. So that'll be the big indicator. All right. If DGS2 starts breaking above that downtrend of highs, works just the same as any other price action. We could see it break above, retrace, and then take off. But it did technically cross by 0.002% yesterday on the 2-year Treasury auction. It's the first warning sign. First warning sign. Now we haven't really, the Fed rate and the constant maturity rate haven't been together since all the way over here. And they just came back together right here yesterday. Definitely concerns me what's coming down the pipe. So stay tuned. Make sure you subscribe. I'll keep a pulse on it. That's for sure. Like, this has got my attention. Had my attention for a couple of years. You know, it's a slow mover. So, all right. As I said, Christmas, probably this holiday week, probably not going to make a big mover. But when we look at this, we're inching up. Like I said, it'd probably be a slow grind higher. Hard to argue that wasn't the theme of the day yesterday. Kind of slow grind. And we didn't really go anywhere in a big way. We just kind of opened up. You know, we opened up right there and just kind of slow drift higher all day. Right? It's kind of what we did. Opening up, trying to get above the roadmap line this morning. Remember, it's a half day, so we got maybe a half day of slow grind. Got this resistance zone. We're right in there. We can get above it. That indicates that as the volume picks up, maybe after Christmas, we may see that pop. So we may grind it through, make a little knee-jerk reaction, and then boom. That'd be a pretty nice post-Christmas present, right? Get back to highs. I like it. I like it. Let me know in the chat. Well, you vote for that? So looking at the futures, that correction looks like it. We had a little spike, went just a bit lower, kind of completed out the pattern there. That high, that low, that high. Boom, right there. Look at that. Look at that spike held. That's bullish. Going higher more than likely. Next target up for resistance right there at 60.61 on the futures. Possibly up to 60.71. And we may see another reaction. Retest the breakout right there at 60.50. I mean, things are looking kind of positive here in this holiday week. And it's just going to be a slow grind probably because there's just not volume. There's just not many participants out here fishing for trades. So we'll probably see that break on higher. That'll probably test the higher time frames here we were talking about yesterday. Already pushing through the 1 hour. That's good to see. 4 hour. Already pushing above that. So game on. That's what I would say here. This small time frame reversal here looks pretty good. Let's move this over to the current high and the current low. We're pushing through that resistance of the big pullback we did off of the FOMC. Pushing through that 618 level. I like it. Sets us up for these kind of numbers right here. 6,200. Potentially. We could get there even in low volume. Maybe well, that's 200 points. Think about it. 30 points a day. 30 points and maybe 20, 30 points a day. 20, 30 on Friday. 20, 30 on Thursday. 20, 30 on Friday. 20, 30 on Monday. 20, 30 on Tuesday. Closed on Wednesday. I mean, we could be up there right into the new year. Be kind of a surprise, right? So, dun, 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 dun. Yeah, maybe. Maybe not. Maybe not. We could see SPX come up there. We could see it pass on through. Just never know. And the massive position rolled off last week. So there were like 170,000 calls and 170,000 puts, or 120. Well, it got down to 120 by the OPEX. 120,000 calls and puts sitting at 6,000, and we busted right through. So never underestimate the power of the mob, which is what we all are. It's not just one trader that matters. It can be, but it's not usually. There is significant resistance right where we are. The prices between SPX and ES are roughly 70 to 80 points difference right now. That's just the futures. Futures have future cost involved. I don't know the technical name for it, but it's kind of like theta. That's time value, they call it in options. There's time value to futures contracts, and that's what we got for the difference there. It looks like 50, 60, 65 points today. 60 to 65 points today. So already quickly bleeding off from the 85 when we first rolled over. But that right there, resistance, we get through it, probably coming on up here in this zone right there. It could happen by the end of the year, could happen just after the first. Be careful. It's eerily similar to the way we topped in 2022, where we topped out. I'm just cautious rolling into the beginning of the year right here. We topped out in 2022 right there on the 4th. And then the 5th, let's see which day is which. Yeah, that was the 4th. The 5th kind of started us down, and then we developed faster. So, yeah, that was the fourth right there on the top. And look at it this way. Pull it back over. Right there. That fourth, we made that high, and then it was the fifth, we started plummeting out. Eerily similar right there. If we ramp up, be careful. If we do something like this, we see some excitement in the market while we're in low volume, concerns me. Just warning, like if we see that excitement, this pullback, very similar, eerily similar to how we entered 2022. Doesn't mean that we're going to top out next week or two, but just deja vu for me. Like I'm that sticks in my head very acutely as a warning right there. We as traders like to forget the past, but that eerily similar right there for me. Also eerily similar to the conditions we had in 2019 rolling into 2020. Not so much in the price action, but just kind of in the way everything's positioned. So also caution there. In Q, this baby looks like we're set to roll higher, rip higher, I should say. Next target is right up here in that zone. If we can break out and go, we back tested the breakout right there. Rejected strongly. 3 green days. This looks very, very strong for going higher. I like it. I like it a lot. Right up into the resistance right now at the 618. Right there. If we can get through, sets us up for this move. Probably get a pullback and launch on up here to that. That could be right through the inauguration time. I like it. Let's go up. I like it. Russell sitting on the roadmap line. Not really committing to anything here. Softness, if we break down, there's the target zone right there. If we can break higher, resistance right there. And if we break above that, target up there. Around 2,500 and change. This is right around 2,350 to 2,400. This right here is right down around 2,100, all the way down to 2,000-ish. There you go. That's kind of the levels to watch on Russell. Russell 2000, that's the small cap, some mid cap stuff. It's where like 85% of the country works, are in these companies right here. Employ a lot of America. And after that quick little Trump bump, this has been bleeding off and bleeding off and bleeding off. Sitting on resistance or support. Sitting on supports. It's not the sign of strength right there. We did see that right there. We rallied up, came back down. So it could just do this round trip back to the roadmap line. Could pop up and come back down, then find strength and launch off. So this roadmap line is support. And even if we do this, we'll come back to support again and then give it the chance to break through. So, but if we turn down here, it sets up this as a highly likely path. This would stand in our way. All right, everybody clear on that? You got questions? Ask in the chat or leave me a comment down below if you're watching later. So I'll do my best to get back to you. Oil still churning, churning, churning. We keep making these 3-wave moves. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Probably coming down to the bottom. 1, 2, 3. Probably coming up in the top into inauguration. Big picture, just sideways in this consolidation zone right there. If we can break out above the resistance, going higher, could be a rocket ship. Lots of pent up energy here. We've been chopping in this October, November, December, soon to be January. It'll be like 4 months of just chopping in this area right here, getting tighter and tighter and tighter and tighter and tighter. You know what happens when you wind up a spring, right? Eventually, it either breaks or it breaks and all that energy comes out one way or another, right? You either hit the stop and it releases. We could release down, or we could release up. Don't know which way. We're winding it up though. It's a lot of energy building in oil right there. Just not sure which way it's gonna go. Gold, held. This concerns me. So we popped up, broke above the downtrend highs that we started back here in October. Downtrend highs, made that high. We held right there, broke up through, kind of convinced a lot of people to get bullish. I thought that was the first good sign. Then we retraced, held the trend line for a couple days, poked below, just back tested it from underneath, and setting this up right there. Setting up a final flush out on gold. Very concerned on that right now, that this is going to be what happens. This could be fast. It could be one big fast. Could happen in a day. Could happen in a matter of hours. One big fast flush. That's a large move on gold, 200 points-ish. Be careful, all right? Be careful, especially if you're playing any kind of leverage gold or leverage miners. Could be a big fast flush out that's setting up right here. Look at that. See this candle over here? This one right here? Big fast flush. We got several of those in here. Look at that one. Look at that one. We could get a big fast flush. What would be the reason? I don't know. I don't care. The reason is it's showing up on the chart that we could get a big fast flush. All right. If you get that through your head, it doesn't matter the reason. The reason is it's on the chart. One big fast flush, touch that area. That would be the point to load up, to potentially load up if we're going to hold it. As long as we stop there and start reversing back above the roadmap line, probably going higher. So watch out for a big fast flush in the next couple of weeks. It's showing up. It's set up. It has a really, really nice setup here for doing that. Doesn't have to. It can break out. You can break out, get through the resistance here, and just go cruising from here. So that's the other, how could I be wrong on this? It breaks out and goes. Does it now. 2,900. My near-term target for next resistance up, right up in there. That's why I got the alert sitting there. Bitcoin. Yeah, nice. Little Christmas reprieve. I'm not sure what it's going to do tomorrow. When everybody's not looking, maybe drift higher. I did lighten up on my leveraged Bitcoin position because, well, this looks pretty dangerous at this moment. I have to tell you. Here's the resistance. We may, over the next 2 days, rally up to that resistance and then do a big flush down to the roadmap line. I'm very concerned about this right now. Very concerned. That's why I lightened up on the leveraged Bitcoin. That looks... We started poking yesterday. Started poking into that support right there. Just not a fan of that right there. If we hold it, break above this, I may add the, missed a couple bucks on the leveraged Bitcoin. If we can get above here, get back in the pool. But I don't want to ride that on leverage. Now, if we get down there, I'll probably add back be able to, increase the amount of leveraged Bitcoin I had. And what do I mean by leveraged Bitcoin? I mean BitX, BitU, and all those other ones that are 2x leverage Bitcoin. All right. Didn't really close much else. Just the leverage Bitcoin directly because it was set up on that chart that we could flush. And I just call me crazy, but I just don't trust the market in low volume. The majority of Bitcoin holders are up $67,000 per Bitcoin. That really seems like the kind of condition that the market might flush everybody out a little bit, get some weak hands out of the game, and then we go ripping higher. This would be a nice fat 20, almost 30% correction. Roll back in time. For those of you who don't remember, weren't playing in Bitcoin back then. This is more volatile. Like crypto is the most volatile thing in the world. See this right here? Everybody thought the run was done. 30% correction. Didn't hit the roadmap line though. Over here, this just did a 30% correction and then ripped. And then did another one. Then another violent. 18%. Then this one kind of stuck. You got a 30, rally back up to the 618. That's why you got to watch the 618. And got the extension lower. Just cautious. Seen this before. Like deja vu, you know, I kind of get these feelings like I've seen this stuff happening before. Oh, reload. Reload. Oh, now it's going to grab the wrong stuff. And then we come over to current price action. 30%, we could get it. Bounced up, retrace. Just be careful. All right, I say be careful a lot because, well, nobody's watching out for your money more than you are. Just remember. So this high, this low, so far, there's our resistance. Right here. Rally up. Maybe tomorrow, maybe Thursday, possibly even on Friday. Could carry it through next week. Then watch out for that. Right there. All right. Moving on. Ethereum. Was that the bounce? I don't know. That did have 1, 2, 3 down into a point where we could reverse. Coming up into that resistance. Get above it. Indicating we can break out. If we turn down there, we could go lower. Could just be the A wave. This could be the B. And this could be a C down here. Or that could be ABC and we're all done. I'm not sure which one. Time for caution on Ethereum. If we can break out through this zone, going higher. If we don't, probably going on down to a lower low. And if Bitcoin is going to do a deeper correction, this one will probably follow suit. Dollar, churning at that target zone that I've had for a long time. That could be the top for now. We may not see this. We may not see higher than 109 for a while here. Okay, this can spike up and then reverse and come down here, which is where I've been looking for the dollar to go for like 2 years. So we may finally do that flush. NKD, despite all the positive news of Honda and Nissan going to combine into the world's 3rd largest car manufacturer, potentially starting a watermelon seed squeeze and just go sideways like oil. Wind it up, wind it up, wind it up, wind it up. Then do we pop, head up to 44,000, or do we drop and get a big market liquidation? This is my best indicator, most simple indicator for global liquidity right now. Working on something else for money supply. There you go. MSTR, what's moving today? So I go pull everything we've given $2 or more up, put it on the gainers list. Today I had to stretch into below $2 or more to get decliner, to even get one on the decliners list. So Christmas cheer, everybody's a little happy, but be careful. MSTR is doing the bubble pattern. All right, we're consolidating here. Would not be a stretch to watch this flush right down there at about 240. Very, very cautious here. Bitcoin does a little rally. This could pull back up again and then get that flush. This is showing up like in Bitcoin's chart and in MSTR's chart. I'm very cautious. I let off my MSTX, still holding MSTR shares that I have from down here in the hundreds. So that's the long and the short of it right now. Just very, very cautious. If you've never seen the bubble pattern before, here it is right here. This is what it looks like. Look how eerily similar this is. We did this. Now we're doing this. What comes next? Further decline. That's what that looks like to me. It's never exactly the same. Look, we can add more candles. See how close this starts looking? Just telling you, be careful. Just saying. I don't trust it. I don't trust it one bit right now. FNGU. Well, that might rally on up to 750. AVGO. Watch for that one to come back down. Jody, I'm sure you would appreciate this coming back down instead of rallying on up. Give you a little bit of reprieve. Give you an opportunity to adjust some stuff. Doesn't have to come back though. It can just keep ripping. 260, 280. It's the best targets I got right now for the upside. CREV. Oh my gosh. Nasty. When we did that pop, I was like, it's coming back down, and there it did, and we're gonna do something crazy again. It looks like. I just wouldn't mess with this. It's just danger. That's what that chart says to me. Danger, 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 danger. Coin probably coming back to the roadmap line. It's got all the makings. It's sitting here right on this support. Got all the makings for at least coming back to the roadmap line. Right there. Now, the other scenario, I have to draw this. I'll have to clean this up just a little bit to just show what the other scenario is. This low, this high. Pull this up here. This could go just a little lower than the roadmap line because here's the real support zone right in like that. So we could, if Bitcoin's going to dip, we could see this dip and then set up the bigger rally. There you go. Yeah, Captain J, have a good day. Merry Christmas. We'll see you on Thursday, hopefully. Tesla, look at that move yesterday and today. Nice bounce. Looks like we may go on extension in the coming days. Hit that 500 level. If we can break out, push it even higher. Up here. 600 level. It's crazy to be talking about the next two levels are 500 and 600. On something that's 450. I mean, that's like Gosh, that's almost 50% upside. Just wild right there. I'm just saying, like, it's set it up. Set it up. We'll see what happens. JTAI, I wouldn't trade it with your money. Dumpster fire, reverse split. I mean, look at that. 225 shares. Like, you had 225 shares, now you got one. Congratulations. Happy Christmas. Be careful on that stuff. Be careful. MSTX. Dude, that full self-driving 13.2.2 is crazy good. Crazy good. I see what all the people, the early testers were posting about on X. I mean, it was weaving through traffic by itself last night. It was just like, I was like, what? It's like, this is nuts. We went out and looked at Christmas lights, and then I was like, all right, truck, take me home. And it was like, all right, I'm going to the interstate. And then it was just like weaving through everybody as we passed people. It was just nuts. I was like, this is almost getting there. It's better driving probably 80 to 90% of drivers out there. It's pretty wild. If you tried anything in the early 12 version or even before that, it's not even the same anymore. Like, it's not even the same from when I got the truck or when I first got full self-driving to now. Like, it's getting pretty wild how fast it's getting better. I'm sure that last 20% of little problems is going to be hard to do, but they're getting there really quickly. That cyber taxi thing is probably going to be a reality pretty quickly. I don't know about in 25, maybe by late 25, possibly, 26, I could definitely see it. But the rate this has changed in the last, I got full self-driving like 3 months ago. The rate has changed in 3 months. Absolute insane. And the rate has changed from like, gosh, wrong number, what? Just June to now, 6 months. I mean, we were pretty impressed 6 months ago. And now it's just wild. Absolute wild. So, on MSTX, be very careful. If MSTR flushes, this is leveraged, 2x leverage. This can drop 80%, right back down to 20 area. Wouldn't be a bad place to pick back up a position if you wanted to. Yeah, well, I mean, 50 years, heck, probably it could be faster. It could be like 10 years. I mean, it's like iRobot kind of stuff. So, it's like you get to the point where it's like, you're going to hand drive? Are you crazy? I mean, I'm pretty impressed with, it can watch more stuff faster than I can. So it's getting there. BitX, remember, if Bitcoin flushes, this is coming right down here. This is why. This made me nervous because we hit the target. Violent retrace back through the breakouts. If we do that 618 retrace here, like I was talking about Bitcoin, we can easily come back down here. Be a much better place to reload. That's actually where I had my first. That was about that neighborhood was where I had the cost basis for the shares I liquidated yesterday. And then we can go again. My target, the big picture target on BitX is still like 100 plus, 120, 100, 120. Maybe up here. We'll see. We'll see. That could be an opportunity to double your money. Right there. I was buying about a half Bitcoin worth of this. I had about a half Bitcoin's worth riding. Liquidated. Waiting for the reload. If I can double half Bitcoin's worth of money, then, pull it down. Double it. I can afford a Bitcoin. Triple it. Maybe more than a Bitcoin. That was my goal. Instead of trying to just buy half a Bitcoin now and ride it up, I was looking at trying to make a Bitcoin's worth of money right there. That was kind of what I thought I would do. That was my plan. All right. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, so that was kind of the joke in the background that you can ask Wrongware. I told him that several times. Like, if anybody thinks that full self-driving is not going to work on Tesla. Just watch them land those rockets on a pad by itself or on a ship floating in the ocean by itself. I mean, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? You don't think you can drive a car if you can land a rocket on a moving boat in, rocking and rolling in the ocean? I mean, I'm just saying, there's a lot of smart people in that. And HODL might do a flush. Be careful. That's looking a lot like that bubble pattern thing. But it's not breaking down like MSTR. This is actually just sitting here consolidating and could do another one of these very easily. This could be just an echo. Oh, cool. Got to change that back to blue. Make it back to, put my trend lines back. So that right there, notice that was very similar move. Could do a very similar move again and put it up here near 4 on HODL. BitU. It's another Ultra Bitcoin, and that looks like we might come down here. I don't really have enough candles on this one to do much charting. Be careful. AMD still on a path. That was a lower low. Then we head back here in July. Be careful. The target is still right down here. Still right down here. 85 to 110-ish. That's the big target zone. Just one more nice flush, and we could be done correcting on AMD. It's been like a whole year's worth of correcting. Let's just wrap it up already. ARKB, probably coming back to the roadmap line. That's Bitcoin. NEUE is a dumpster fire of a chart. Reverse split back here. Just don't touch stuff like that. FBTC is Fidelity's Bitcoin ETF. Might correct a little bit. Watch out. GBTC, another Bitcoin ETF. All those showing up this morning. AVL. There's a leveraged 2x leverage on AVGO. Like first move down, retrace. Next move down would be what I would expect to happen just based on that limited amount of chart candles I have right there. 618 right there. That rejects. Probably going to come down one more move. That looks like something like this. That move, that move. That would be right down here. Right down in that vicinity would be what I expect based on what I'm seeing right there. Hold and go again. AVGX. That's another same thing as AVGL, basically. Same. I could draw it all again, but that's the same exact thing. ALAB, watch for that to retrace. It could go on up to the next target, 150. Be careful. The one decliner I found, and look, it's only $1.67. But this is a dumpster fire, so be careful. And there wasn't anything else pulling back. So Christmas cheer for all to have. Merry Christmas, everybody. Thanks for coming. Thanks for being with me this morning. I don't have a bonus trade. There were out of 4,000 tickers. There was nothing on the list last night. Nothing at all. So nothing set up. Just a real blase market. Expect more chop. Early close. 1 o'clock today. Be careful out there. The account you save may be your own. I'll be back Thursday. No 30 minutes of awesome today. Just throwing that out there. When somebody asks later on Discord or whatever, there's no 30 minutes of awesome today. I have not decided if I'll do it Thursday or Friday or not at all this week. Anyway, have a great day. We'll see you on Thursday. Merry Christmas. Spend some time with those you love. Happy Hanukkah if that's your style. I've got Festivus for the rest of us right there. Happy Kwanzaa. Whatever it is you choose to celebrate. Merry Christmas. We'll see you later. Thanks for being a subscriber. Thanks for being a channel member. Thanks for being a follower of JT this year. We'll see you again on